commentators.
Mobility Resort Motegi. It was just the idea of bringing Champ Car over to this part of the world, and therefore there is a full egg-shaped oval, exactly the same at both ends. And what's interesting about it is you actually can't use the whole circuit at the same time, because there's a bit of crossover in terms of where the tracks go, and you share the same pit building as well. Look carefully, you see some of the other parts of the circuit. We'll give you a rundown of the track at the moment. In fact, we do have somebody who's raced here before. It's the 62,000 lap record, and that was you
Thank you, commentators. Joining me on the track today, we have the series manager of Porsche Carrera Cup Asia, Mr. Alex Imperator. Hello, Alex.
Hello, Sammy. Hello, everyone.
So, Alex, it must be really exciting to bring Porsche Carrera Cup Asia to the iconic Japanese track for the first time, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Motegi is one of the 2 new circuits that we visit this year, and it's really important because it keeps the excitement fresh, it keeps the challenge fresh for the drivers and the teams, and we get a really great welcome here in Motegi, so we're looking forward to some exciting racing. Motegi is a challenge also technically for the teams and the drivers. It's very brake focused kind of track, and as we know, the 911 GT3 Cup car does not have ABS, so it's really going to show who is able to best manage the braking areas here in Motegi, and we're looking forward to see that.
And you know, the energy here is incredible in Japan because we have lots of people joining us today. So how does it feel at this moment, you know, like having PCCA racing together with the exciting motorsports culture here in Japan?
Yes, I mean, Japan is always a favorite stop from our drivers. We get a very great welcome always from the fans, from the local guys here. We again have a lot of fans in the grandstand this weekend. We are racing with Super Formula, which is the pinnacle of motorsports here in Japan, and we're very fortunate to be able to soak in this atmosphere, and it gives a lot of buzz and energy to our drivers. So we always are happy and continue to come here to enjoy this atmosphere in Japan.
Now we are still in the beginning of the race, but we had really fierce competition back in Shanghai. So what can we expect? What will happen in this weekend or maybe beyond? And what makes this weekend a pivotal weekend for our drivers?
Well, every weekend is important, as you know. The opening of the season in Shanghai was action-packed, to say the least. I think now the drivers will settle a little bit into their rhythm for the rest of the season, focus on scoring points, but every point matters and every weekend is important. So it's very hard to predict what will happen because they will all go for the gaps, So let's look forward to the race today.
I think today we're going to really watch how our drivers are going to set the pace for this weekend. Thank you very much, Alex, and let's pass it back to our commentators.
We're getting ready to be cleared. This track, almost 3 miles actually, on the road circuit, and it's a split weekend by the look of it, because I was watching the timing before we came live, and there was a whole host of 30-odd motorcycles doing some racing around here, and it is of course for the Motorcycle Grand Prix that this circuit is now probably best known on the international side of things. There is a lap record for Porsche Carrera Cup cars, but it goes back such a long way, I don't think it's really relevant. It's the old 991.2 car from Carrera Cup Japan, 158.3. I think we'll probably get underneath that today. It's beautiful, 0 chance of rain, and 27 Celsius in the air. Track temperature will be a lot hotter than that, probably double that at the moment. Colleagues at Michelin will be keeping a very close eye on that. Once you get over 50 Celsius, it starts to really interest them. And we've got a very interesting grid lineup. We're talking about things to keep your eyes on. Let's get to Steve, who's talking to one of the pole sitters.
For this opening race of the weekend, car number 6, Dylan Yip. Dylan, how are you doing? Bit of a disappointing weekend for you in Shanghai, but here you are in pole. How did you manage that improvement?
I think it was a disaster weekend in Shanghai, but we moved forward quickly, and now we're here on pole, and let's see what the race can do.
You've got the championship leader right alongside you, and a lot of the other proles right on your bumper. Who's going to get to turn 1 first?
You expect a different answer than me?
Not at all. Good luck. Drive safely.
Thanks.
Couple who picked up some penalties in our qualifying session, and significant ones as well, with Christian Chia from Open Road Racing put to the back of the grid, but then after he'd had that penalty, we had a grid drop for also for the number 222, Wu Jiazin, who is the Origine Motorsports driver, and he was put to the back of the grid. So as he was second, he's gone all the way back the grid. He'd already had a 3 grid drop penalty before that. So watch out for that 222 car coming from the back of the grid. 4 classes to talk about today. The pros at the front, then Pro-Am, then Am, and then new for 2025. It is the Masters class. Let's go to our Pro-Am.
P8, but pole position among the Pro-Ams is car number 7, Bao Jinlong. Jinlong, you're in pole position today and tomorrow. How good was that qualifying session for you?
Qualify can do more because yesterday I have some problem with my car, and today my car fixed it, and but in the qualify I pushed too much.
Motegi is a new circuit. How have you enjoyed it?
Yes, it's good. I like the track.
Okay, we look forward to seeing you perform well. Hopefully speak to you later.
Thank you.
Bao Jinlong then, not only leading the Pro-Ams, but well up inside the top 10, and sitting behind him, we'll do the full grid for you in a moment, is our Ampol sitter, and once again, that is the El Bamba Motorsport driver, Mongkong Satin Debaku, and he's had a fantastic opening to this season, and will be certainly challenging Henry Kwong, our multiple champion. He starts and Eric Kwong, both champions, they will be challenging as well. Let's have another pole today.
Car number 76 furthest up the track in terms of the amateurs in the P9 overall, Mongkong Satyun Tirikul. P2 tomorrow, but on pole today. Does that mean you'll give it everything you have today for the checkered flag?
Yeah, actually I did some mistake in the quality too, so let's see tomorrow. It will be interesting.
You've got a bunch of amateur drivers between you and most of the rest of your competitors, so does that mean that you're going to have a bit of a buffer that might be an advantage?
I don't think so. I think we need to see on the start how it's going on. Yeah.
It's actually Pro-Am drivers between you and the rest, but yeah, you're calm about that.
I mean, if I can follow them, like I can follow Pro-Am, that would be a lot of benefit for me, yeah. But let's see, as I said.
Drive safely.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a very good qualifying performance from Mongkong Satin Tirikul, but he has been around the pace of the top 10 fairly consistently, and I expect to see him going well today and tomorrow. Interesting that he said there that he felt that perhaps he hadn't got the best out of qualifying. There is a bit of tyre strategy going on. Tyres are not an infinite resource here in Porsche Carrera Cup Asia. And what we don't know is who's saved some for tomorrow. All right, let's have the final class. That's the Masters.
Mandarin, okay. I'm going to do it this way, Sammy, all right? Don't worry. Jackie Wu is in pole position among the Masters. He's in P16 overall. We've got Sammy here to help with translation. No podiums in Shanghai, but here he is on pole position. How is it getting that race pace for the full half hour?
就是你刚刚的表现是怎么样？因为你上2场就是没有在这个杆位，那这一次可以得到杆位发车，可以分享一下。
因为我太想比赛的结束以后能看到漂亮的你了。
He wants to quickly finish the race so that he can see the beautiful track.
All right, well, we'll get your comments on that after the race. Good luck.
好的，加油。
さあ、まもなく3分前、今ちょうど3分前になりましたかね。さあ、この時間になりますと、もうタイヤ交換はできないということになります。そしてグリッド上のですね、ドライバー以外のメカニックの皆さん、あとはサポーターの皆さん、家族の皆さんは今、第2パドックの方に移動
Jackie Wu there, I think that's probably his best qualifying, or in terms of the overall, 17th. He'll start alongside Adrian De Silva, another one of the Masters category. Well, these are the times on the grid where the concentration really counts. In our overall categories, Dylan Pereira on 42 points ahead of Brock Gilchrist, who had a good weekend in Shanghai as well. Rigo Diaz Almeida from Enzo Trulli and Alan Harris Jeffrey is in top 5. The overall and the pro. The Pro Am, Alex Zhang from Toro Racing. From that 222, which will start at the back for Jezin. And 321. And then it's Mongkong Satin Kathiriko, pretty much a perfect weekend in the arms ahead of Eric Kwong and Hubo in third position, but a good lead, 53 to 38. Adrian De Silva leading in the AM category from Christian Chia, who's been put to the back of the grid for Open Road Racing. John Shen in third. Jackie Wu a chance to make up some points this weekend with that pole position. 1 minute to roll off. 14 corners, 13 or 14 corners, depends what you call the last selection, the next section of the track. Entry and exit of turn 1 and 2, opportunity to pass there, and also the hairpin down at turn 10 before you go onto what is effectively part of the oval, going in the wrong direction, and a heavy braking area at the right-hander at turn 11. And then a very technical section in the last part of the circuit to bring you back onto the start-finish area. A couple of bridges as well, so we'll go out of the sunshine for a couple of moments, and that's just a wee bit tricky as well, particularly if you've got a dark visor on. It gives a second for your eyes to be able to readjust. So let's give you the running order of the grid start, which will be a clutch start, standing start. It's the two Dylans, Dylan Yip for Phantom Global Racing from Dylan Pereira, Team Shanghai Honda on the front row. Row 2 is Hugo Ellis for CMA Motors Racing, the number 38 from Rodrigo Diaz Almeida in 4th position. Row 3, Josh Rowledge from Enzo Trulli, and Anna Harris Jeffrey for the Z-Speed Motorsports team, and then Bao Jin Long, our Pro-Am pole sitter, from in 5th position. 3, 2, 1, also Pro-Am for the Z-Speed, that's Li Shuinu, and he's got Mongkong Satin Kathiriko, our AM pole sitter, in the top 10. Then it's Eric and Henry Kwong, and then all Kwong 6th row of the grid, Charles and Francis Chia on row 7. On row 8 in 15th position, Su Jiefeng, and then it's Yan Chuang behind, alongside him, Yang Chuang, alongside him in the Phantom Global Racing. Jackie Wu on board for the Masters from Adrian Silva, Hugo and Hendrik Giles Sawadi, and then our penalised drivers behind that who've been pushed further to the back. Actually, no, John Shen is on the inside of 411. Christian Chi, as I said, was put in the back. But after Christian, and this is significant for the championship, the triple two in the championship doing very well for Wo Jiazin in the AM championship. So that's how they will line up when they come back to the grid. It'll take them a wee while on this long circuit as they are now heading, not much of rise and fall here. This is one of the flatter tracks that we go to. There is the crossover underneath the oval. Just for the sake of probability, I'll tell you the oval is a 1.5 mile oval, just over 1.549. Actually, there's a, sorry, I'm going to go off a tangent here, but it wouldn't be me if I didn't. There's some debate about how long the oval actually is, because when NASCAR came here, they used a different track length to when NASCAR came here. Not. But I'm going to tell you that it's 1.549. Not using that to date. It still gets used on the Honda drive days when they bring out all the cars and they bring their Indianapolis winning car. Been here the last 7 years actually. But otherwise it's used as parking, so you will see that. Alright, lining up in a staggered grid formation with Dylan Yip, a fan of Global Racing, on the left hand side of the track. Dylan Pereira, perhaps with a shorter run into the first corner, 45 Celsius, Michelin telling us now. I speculated it might be over 50, not quite. Bao Jinlong might have overrun his grid spot there, and that might be a penalty for him. We'll have to check with the race control on that. That is our pole sitter in the Pro-Am category, sitting in well inside the top 10. 8th position. Waiting for the green flag at the back. It's taking a wee bit of time. There it is now. Fire up or rev up the flat 6 4 litres. Welcome along if you've just joined us. John Hindhoff, and there's a staller in the middle of the grid towards the back there. I think that's the 610 racing car of Hugo that didn't get away. The bright yellow machine, but down at the front of the field. It is Dylan Yip and Dylan Pereira who've got away, but there's been a change of lead as through has come Hugo Ellis in the very famous colours of Team Jepson, the blue and white, down into turn number 3 and round the outside. That's Josh Rowledge having a look as well as they head in onto the first of the long straights. Challenge for the lead. Blue and white car on the inside. That is our leader, Hugo Ellis. Dylan Yip, the pole sitter, as they go under the oval for the first of 2 opportunities on the lap. Now heading through the sinuous second part of the circuit, 6, 7, 8, 9. Out of turn 9 now. Short straight out of the braking area at turn 10. Already someone off and doing a bit of grass tracking. I think that actually was Hugo who's gone around. Yes, it is, in the pink car. There's a few people trying to avoid that. So I think it was Henry Suatati of the Toro who didn't get off the line. Meantime, what a start from Hugo, and he still leads it. Heading underneath the bridge one more time. So they come through the final section of the track, take plenty of curb on the right hand side and onto the start finish straight. A maximum of 30 minutes normally will get through to the laps, and it's Hugo Ellis who leads from Dylan Pereira, Dylan Yip, Rodrigo Diaz Almeida. Trulli has moved up a position as well. Josh Rowledge dropping down, then it's Jeffrey. Bao Jinlong still in 8th and leading his class. Munkong Sathinthirikul still in 10th and leading his class as well. Lee Chow moving up a position. Henry Chuang up to 12th, and at the back of the field, the damage to the rear, that is an awful. That's the Phantom Global Racing car, Yang Chuang, with, I think, damage that will have to bring that number 27 car into the pit lane. Still waiting for Hugo to finish the lap as well, so maybe it was Adrian De Silva who didn't get off the line in the yellow car. And Hugo into the pit lane as well after that spin. 610 racing car. So that is awful luck for another driver who would have championship aspirations. So just 3/4 of a second at the line for Hugo Ellis ahead of Dylan Pereira as they're off onto one of the longest straights again. Down to turn number 11. Before out of the car. His body language tells me he is not a happy driver. So 14 laps or 30 minutes. Yeah. That's Mobility Resort Motegi, renamed at its 25th anniversary. Here we're known as Twin Ring Motegi. Down through the classes. Yeah, he's still leading the Masters category from Christian Chia. I said watch out for the 222 from the back of the grid. Jazin, he's made up a couple of positions, 17th position at the moment for the 222 after being put to the back of the grid after infractions in qualifying. He's not at the sharp end where he would like to be, battling for the lead in the YAM. He would expect to be knocking on the door or perhaps inside the top 10. He's got a lot of work to do to get back to that. At the front of the field though, the blue and white Team Jebsen car in behind Team Shanghai Honda BWT. That's Hugo Ellis, who made a fantastic start and managed to get past the two front row starters, the two Dylans. Still now in second and third with Dylan Yip for Phantom Global Racing in third position in the number 6, but still plenty of racing to go here in the first of two 14-lap encounters over the top of the brow and heading down to the end of that long back straight between 10 and 11. That is the longest straight. There's a little bit of a thought there going into the final complex on that pink BWT car in second place, but no opportunity to get through, and it's a very short run to the line as well. Dylan Yip, and then the darker red coloured car in 5th position is Enzo Trulli, the famous dark red colours of Toro Racing. That's behind the second of the Team Jebsen cars actually. Rodrigo Diaz Almeida just about a second away from his teammate. And this is real pressure at the front of the field here. Motorcycle long lap penalty loop to the driver's right as they go through 3 and 4 short straight, slightly downhill into the right hand at turn 5, just a little bit more than 90 degrees underneath the oval being used for parking this weekend. You can see just how dark it is under there, although there are some lights, a bit like the Monaco tunnel. It's like a little shorter version of that because that is the whole width of the oval track. This is another car in the pit lane with issues. This was the car that we thought would have to come in. Yan Chuang, Phantom Global Racing, the number 27 car. Damage to the rear. They'll want to have a look at that. Make sure there's nothing that will damage that 4-litre flat 6 engine, just over 500 horsepower. That might just be bodywork, but they're having a good look underneath the silencer box on the racing exhaust there. It's right in the middle, underneath that rear bumper. And if that gets damaged, it will affect... Oh, and something's just fallen off the leader. A piece of bodywork has just fallen off the leader, Hugo Ellis. Seymour Motors, and he may have lost the lead at the same time. Has he been off the track? He has lost the lead. Dylan Pereira goes back to the front, but Hugo Ellis pulls across. Oh, Pereira squeezing him down towards the pit wall. They almost touch as they come back out onto the racing line. Ellis will get the lead back going into turns 1 and 2. Feisty stuff from these two young chargers, and here's Dylan Yip trying to make up ground, as well as Enzo Trulli has gone up into 4th position in the dark red Toro Racing number 99 car. Action at the front of the field. Hugo Ellis has not been able to hold on to the lead. Rounding outside at turns 3 and 4, and a new leader. That's 3 times we've had a lead change in the last 4 corners, and it looks to me as though Hugo Ellis has got a bit of a problem. He gets a tap from Dylan Yip going down the hill towards turn number 5, but that's pushed him forward. My goodness me. 2nd, 3rd and 4th very close together, and this is an opportunity now for Dylan Pereira, the man who started on pole position. 1:54.655. That is a lap record, of course. Carrera Cup Asia has not raced here before. Carrera Cup cars have. Rio Ogawa back in 2020 was the last time a fast lap was put in here, but that was Porsche Carrera Cup Japan, 1:58.8. So that absolutely smashed. Different category of car. In fairness, we've upgraded the cars since then in aero. Drivetrain is the same. So BWT leading the motor race. So what was it that left the front of the car at this point of the track? Turn number 11 last time around. The same machine, blue and Seymour Motors machine with the stripe on the top. Team Jebsen a little bit further back in the similar colours. So Dylan Pereira for Seymour Motors. I might have called him a Team Jebsen driver early on. 55, the famous Jebsen number. Multiple teams and drivers champions from down the years. But at the moment, Rodrigo de Salmara just losing a place down to 5th position. Hugo Ellis down to 2nd. Further back down the field, a little bit of a touch between two of the cars fighting. That was the number 77 of Henrik J. Soardi. And Francis Chia as well in the 21 car. So the Seymour car in 2nd place. Well, whatever was ailing Hugo Ellis after that phenomenal start in the blue and white Seymour car, when he lost the lead, seems to have cleared out. Josh Rowledge, who dropped a few positions at the start. Team Retrade, AGR, now in 6th position and right on the tailpipes of the Jebsen car in 5th. So a couple of decent little battles going on there. Also battle for 3rd and 4th, last step on the podium. Enzo Trulli has Dylan Yip in his sights. In the classes, Baojin Long, another BWT Phantom Global car in 8th position, leads the Pro-Am. Hong Kong Satin Theraku for Earl Bamba Motorsport in 10th. He leads the AM category. And I'm going to say that Jackie Wu is still leading the Masters. Scan on down. Yes, he is in 15th position. Fantastic. This is really going to put him back in the championship hunt. There goes the 76. That's Munkong Satin leading in that AM category. Very distinctive light green stripe car. Really good to see the livery artists have been working hard again for 2025. I'm old enough to remember when Porsche Cup Racing would have been a field of pretty much white cars. They were supplied from Porsche Motorsport back in those days in the base colour of white, and hence actually the road car colour Carrera white. It's racing white. Nowadays it's GT silver, the base colour, although you wouldn't know that from the liveries that we have on show in Porsche Carrera Cup around the world, whether it's here in Porsche Carrera Cup Asia or in any of the other championships. A bit of a defensive line being taken at the front of the field. So we are at the moment working lap number 7. And still the battle for third, Dylan Yip and Enzo Trulli trying to get through down to turn 11, but no opportunity there. Dylan Yip putting his car in the middle of the track through the final chicane and back onto a relatively short start finish straight, but heavy braking at turns 1 and 2. Dylan Yip holding on well, and the other Dylan Pereira, is clearing off. 1:54.2, the fastest lap of the race, and there are points for that as well. Dylan putting that in on his second lap. Excellent work from the Team Shanghai Yonder driver. Jackie Wu, purple and white, leading in the Masters category. Purple and white on the left-hand side, and sort of a gold and white on the right-hand side. More gold on the front of the car at least for Jackie. It's been a good qualifying from him. Jackie, I will tell you, qualifying not normally his forte, but he does enjoy his racing, and he's got a bit of a gap and a couple of cars, so 2 cars between himself and Christian Chia, the number 88 in 18th position. 2 cars and something in the region of 9-10 seconds between Jackie Wu and second in the class, Christian Chia. In third, the number 61 Masters driver, Adrian De Silva for EBM. So Jackie can hold on to this. This will catapult him up the championship order in the Masters category, new for 2025. Now, third step on the podium. It was a 2-car battle. It looks like Rodrigo Diaz Almeida is going to make it a trio battling for that. And actually, he's dragging Josh Rowledge along with him as well. So that'll be 4 cars with that almost orange coloured car, making it a little battle pack of 4, then a gap back to the number 45 of Amahannes Jeffrey for Z-Speed Motorsport. Then the 3-2-1. Z-Speed Motorsport as well of Lee Renu. Now, did I just miss Bao Jinlong going through there? I think I did. Now I think this is going to be... let's see if this is going to be a penalty for Bao Jinlong. I thought he might have lined up in the wrong spot, or through his grid spot, should I say, and been showing that restart, that start again for the number 7. And I think that is going to be a penalty. And typically that will be a drive-through penalty rather than, that will be a time penalty rather than a drive-through penalty. And that will be added to the end of the race. And that is a 10-second time penalty for Bao Jinlong. So my thought when I saw him lining up, that's a big mistake for Bao Jinlong. And he will be very annoyed indeed. Now, I say that, he's in 8th position, so that'll be putting 20 down. Is he going to lose a place? Well, Li Renu is in his class, so he will lose 1 place. I think Li Chao is still about a second away. It's going to be tight. That could drop Bao Jinlong down to 3rd at the end. unfortunately, our timing partners are very good at applying those penalties, but we'll tell you that after the checkered flag. I'll try and keep an eye on it and do some basic arithmetic. But those two cars just going through ahead of Satin Thirakul, they are actually reversed on the timing screen, or they will be at the end of the race. So Bajin Long, Li Zhengyu is actually the opposite way around now. And this is brilliant for Li Zhengyu because he doesn't have to overtake. He doesn't even have to stay that close, because presumably his team will have told him, either on the radio or on the pit board, that he actually now is leading the Pro-Am class. So, very bad luck for Bajin Long. That will fire him up for race 2, I'll tell you that. Meantime, no extra firing up needed for Enzo Trulli, who now knows every square inch of the back of Dylan Yip's Phantom Global racing car off by heart. He'll be seeing that in his sleep tonight. Still that battle for 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th, although in fairness the Team Jepson car and Rodrigo Diaz Almeida has dropped back just a little bit. Josh Rowledge for Team We Trade is another half a second further back from that as they all come round to the last set of corners. Just checking, 19 minutes gone. Yeah, we've got plenty of time to get in the last few laps. Hugo Ellis puts his second best lap of the race in that time around, but it's 1.7 seconds now at the front of the field. Now Francis Cheer's just gone ahead of Jackie Wu in the battle for 15th and 16th position. But Francis, of course, a Pro-Am rather than a Masters driver, so Jackie's still leading that. Lee Chow in 11th place, excuse me, is a Pro-Am, and now Mungkong Sathin Thirakul has no cars between himself and the next car in his... Oh no, sorry, Mungkong's arm, isn't he? So yeah, he's still got Li Chao, and then it's Henry Kwong in 2nd place in the Pro-Am class. Number 610 is Su Gathung, and that's 3rd. Sort of surprised not to have seen the 222 of Jasin come through more, sitting in 17th position, and I reckon that's 4th, 5th in class actually. Hasn't caught Jackie Wu yet. Part of the 3rd still, by the way, is the closest on the track. But in all honesty, you've got to say that Dylan Yip has done a very good job, because Enzo Trulli, for the last couple of 3 laps, has not been able to put anything near what you would call a big move onto that 3rd place driver. It's what, 3.5, 4 992 Carrera Cup cars lengths between them. Then a little gap back to the blue and white of Rodrigo Diaz Almeida and Josh Rowledge, trying to put pressure on him for 5th and 6th. I am really going to be interested to find out what happened to Hugo Ellis when he was leading the race after a rocket ship start. There's some great battling with Dylan Pereira, and then something disappeared exiting stage left at turn 11. Having said that, Hugo did get the lead back after that for a couple of corners at least, with some exceptional racing at the front of the field. I've been trying to look at the front of Hugo's car to see if there are any bits of the bodywork. He hasn't lost that all-important rubber splitter on the bottom of the front air dam. That is still there. There's one thing I found out about Porsche Carrera Cup racing during the 20-odd years that I've been watching it and talking about it, is that is possibly one of the most important parts of the car in terms of the performance, certainly the aero performance. There was half a thought there, quarter of a thought maybe by Enzo Trulli down at turn 11 or the entrance to turn. That's quite a tricky little section of track there because you're coming downhill. One of the few elevation changes here at Mobility Resort Motegi. Downhill braking always difficult because you're putting even more weight onto the front of the car, and with no ABS in Porsche Carrera Cup Asia, the issue there is that it's easy to lock with those Michelin tyres. Bajilong goes through in the lead on the road in the Pro-Am category, but with a 10-second penalty, so he will give up the lead. And I'm waiting for Li Chao to come through. And 16, 20. No, Li Chao now out of range. So it's now just to second place for Bao Xinlong. And it will be Li Xuanyu who, at the moment in that gold fronted 321, will stand on the top step of the podium. So he is the Pro-Am leader despite following one of his competitors in class. Hong Kong. Satin Thirikul still leading, having a pretty lonely race, which is unusual for Mung Kong. He does like to get among the Pro-Am and sometimes even the pro drivers, but he's well set there in an established 10th position overall. But more important to him, as it stands right now, he will extend his championship lead in the AM category. 56.3 his best lap, which is the fastest lap of that category as well. Now Trulli a little bit closer this time, coming down to 11, and again slots out of the slipstream, just pokes a quarter of the right hand side of his Toro racing car out to the right of Dylan Yip in third position, maybe just letting Dylan see the front of his car, trying to put on a little bit of pressure, and did that tell, because Dylan Yip went a wee bit wide coming onto the start-finish straight. Is there an opportunity? Oh, the lights are flashing now from Trulli in fourth place. But Yip is far too experienced for that. All the way onto the green beyond the curb, but keeping two Michelin tyres on the racetrack. Big motorcycle track here. And in fact, this is something quite unusual. This is a split meeting, as well as being Super Formula. There were motorcycles out just before these cars came to the grid. Some pretty big names as well. The Honda test team were out here racing. A huge group of motorcycles. And the green on the edge of the track, if you're a motorcycle rider, you put something on that, and that's immediate track limits. Probably the biggest event now for Motegi is the Motorcycle Grand Prix, the MotoGP here. And this is a brilliant circuit for bikes as much as it is for cars. Well, this has been brilliant from Dylan Pereira. His lead is now over 5 seconds. I suspect Hugo Ellis has lifted off in second place because this battle for third has allowed him to do so. He's got over 2.5 seconds on what has been the battle, as the leader now on the final circuit, coming to the last couple of corners. Pole position, fastest lap in the win, but it wasn't that easy. That's not the story, but it is top points for Dylan Pereira and Team Shanghai Honda BWT as the first race of the weekend. Porsche Carrera Cup Asia here at Motegi goes to Dylan Pereira, with Hugo Ellis 5.7 seconds away behind. Dylan Yip holds on to the third step of the box, with Trulli, Diaz, Almeida and Josh Rowledge making up the top 6. Bao Xinlong right up the tailpipes of Amar, Harris, Jeffrey for 7th, 8th and 9th is the 321. Lee Xuanyu will be adjudged the winner in the Pro-Am category with that 10-second penalty. Now we've got to wait for Li Chao to come through. 39 seconds away from the leader. Oh, that's tight. That was much tighter than I thought it would be, but I think Bao Xinlong will hang on to second when the penalty is applied by about 6-7 tenths of a second. But that was a good final lap by Li Chao. Possibly Bao Xinlong just held up when he caught Amar Harris Jeffrey. Jackie Wu will come to the top step of the podium in Masters from Adrian de Silva in second place. Absolutely outstanding stuff for our winner Dylan Pereira in the Pro category. That's a big gap. That is a very big gap at the front of the field, and it's not typical of Porsche Carrera Cup Asia. And we'll stay for a little bit of the formalities as well. Mind you, we're back with the second race. Please join me, John Huckle, and the drivers a little bit earlier on Sunday morning here at Motegi, which means it's very early morning if you're in Europe. Just around about 2 o'clock in the UK, 3 o'clock in Central European summer time. It's a long slow down lap, isn't it, when you've got nearly 3 miles. A couple of cars that are going to need some remedial attention overnight as well for the teams. Hubo for 610 Racing. And we didn't really find out what happened to the Phantom Global car, the number 27 car. We saw it spinning. The Yan Chuong. Dylan Pereira coming through onto the grid rather than back into the pit lane. Now, I'm not sure that was intended. Confirmed now, our Pro-Am winner is Li Xuanyu, number 321, Guangdong's Saturn Theracule in the number 76, El Bamba Racing. Now what are we doing here? Are we getting all of the top 3? Not sure. On the grid rather than the pit lane at the moment. Jackie Wu takes his first win of the season. Hugo Ellis out of the number 38 car with the hazard flashes going. I still can't see whether there was any damage to the front of Hugo's car. Doesn't look a happy driver though, does he? Dylan Pereira far more sanguine, and why would he not be with a 5.7 second victory? This is unusual to have the Parc Fermé on the grid. I suspect that Steve was not expecting to have to vault the pit wall. There's a shake of the hand, but Hugo Ellis is not happy. The race suit is pulled down in this very hot conditions. Third place for Dylan Yip. Having a chat with his fellow front row starter Dylan Pereira. They're replaying the race from their point of view. A taller Hugo Ellis, hands on head for a moment there, as if he feels something did not go his way. Pro-Am top 3, Bao Xinlong crossed the line first, but it will be Li Xuanyu with a 3-2-1 who wins it from Bao Xinlong. Third place, I reckon, is who is Li Chao. Let's go down to Steve for an interview with our winner of the first race of the weekend, Dylan Pereira. Fairly comprehensive victory. Still getting the congratulations. Dylan, not Steve. Steve fighting his way to them. I think this has caught a few people off guard, to be honest. The car stopping on the start-finish line, or start-finish straight, rather than coming back into the pit lane. Let's review this then. Watch for the blue and white Seamere car coming from the second row behind the pole sitter. It's an excellent start as the front row went wide. Hugo Ellis slotted through into the lead and Rodrigo Diaz-Almera almost came through. Damage at the back of the car for Yen Chuang that took him out of the race. And then there was a spin for Suwati and John Shen involved there as well, but in the end a very comprehensive victory for Dylan Pereira. There's a certain amount of shuffling going on at the front of the field to get the cars in order 1, 2 and 3 from the main category. Now we have got Steve with Dylan Pereira, and here he is.
Dylan Pereira's with me. What a fantastic race. You didn't start at the front. How on earth did you get to the front?
Yeah, so first of all, I had not so good start, but okay, I could keep up until turn 1. But then Dylan Yep was a little bit late on brake, and I could not go in because I was on the side of him, and I just had to wait until he just turned. So yeah, we lost the position there, but at the end I think I fight back quite good, so it was consistent, especially the car was quite good at the end of the race, so really good, and looking forward to race some more.
Yeah, you've had a great start to the season, great start to this weekend, pole position tomorrow, so you must be pretty excited.
Yeah, definitely it was a great thing, because if we practice I didn't drove at all, so because we had some issues on the car, so being on pole position for the second race is just amazing. About never driving here before, no laps and free practice. Being on pole position is great, and I think tomorrow you just have to adapt the car a little bit more and then see having a good start and then see what we can do.
All right, we'll speak tomorrow. Have a good evening.
Yeah, thank you too.
Yeah, it was not too good an evening, obviously, because he needs to be ready for tomorrow morning, as do we. And again, hope you can join us bright and early, or is it late or early if it's 2 o'clock in the morning in the UK and 3 o'clock in Central Europe? Do you stay up? Do you have a couple of hours? Zeds or what? Should be a little bit cooler for the cars and their Michelin tyres tomorrow. Good to have Pro-Am winner after the penalties.
This one you has definitely tasted success today. Let's hear from him. How was the race for you?
就是可以跟我们大概讲解一下刚刚的比赛对你来说是怎么样的？
其实就是保持好自己的节奏吧。觉得这一场相对比较轻松，因为发车发的不是特别好，但是也没有很糟，所以就是整体的节奏能够去跟得上，然后保持的也不错。
I think I'm just keeping my pace because like I wasn't starting at a great position, but I wasn't too bad either. So I'm just keeping myself steady, and it's rather easy for me this round.
And a debut track. What do you think of this circuit?
就是这是我们第一次来到这边，那你觉得这个赛道怎么样？
我相对来说比较喜欢日本这边的这些赛道吧，因为就是偏高速一点，可能我自己的驾驶习惯、驾驶风格也更偏这个感觉一点吧。
I actually like Japan's track a lot because I think it's a high-speed track and it kind of suits the way I drive the car.
Good. Hope to hear from you later on this weekend.
好的，那我们再期待你的表现。
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, remember, didn't cross the line first, but did get the win because of the penalty applied to Bajin Long, and Bajin Long lining up incorrectly on the starting grid, and he will be ruining that situation. So who have we not spoken to? That would be Muntong's Karakou. So let's go down and make that race.
For Mongkong Sathyanthirakorn, that means a new race win. How does it feel? Tell us about the race.
I mean, fantastic. We just came here to have fun, and it's really fun and enjoyable.
Were you expecting the weather to be as good as this? Because in the days leading up to the weekend, it was pretty cold and windy.
Yeah, because before I came to Japan, I see that the weather is just like 15, 14, it's really cold. But now we have a really good weather, you know. See, yeah.
And do you know where you are on the grid for tomorrow's race?
No idea. Somewhere behind Kwan. Yeah.
We'll be watching closely. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Somewhere behind pole position. Yeah, but he'll be doing quite nicely in his category, and that's the point. Well, that was a really sensible race by Mongkong today, just to make sure that he gathered all the points he can for that AM Championship, which he leads, and indeed has pulled out and improved his lead. Finally, our Masters winner, Jackie Wu.
Jackie Wu converting pole position into a race win. It's not always easy to do that. How are you feeling?
就是您从杆位发车，然后现在可以赢得这个组别的冠军，可以跟我们说下你的心情吗？
主要还是归功我的教练，他就一直从模拟器开始，一直到练习排位，一直都挺帮我的。然后也是我第一次 Pro 2 win， 所以心情当然感到相当的愉快。谢谢。
I am really, really happy, and I have to extend my gratitude towards my coach because he's been really helpful since the simulation and to the entire race. He contributed a lot, so yeah, I'm really happy.
We missed you on the podium in Shanghai. Are you looking forward to getting some champagne sprayed on your colleagues?
就是我们上海的时候没有看到你得奖，那这次你会不会非常期待稍后的庆祝呢？
当然相当希望，因为上海把我的坏运气都带走了。我希望从这一站开始，我都有好运气。谢谢。
I am really looking for it because I think in Shanghai they took away all my bad luck, so I believe that my good luck will start from this round.
We hope so too. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Well, good to see Jackie Wu back on the podium in the Masters category. That was a pretty faultless race for him as well. So now a short journey over to the podium for our winners. You might wonder, Mongkong Sathyanthirakorn being asked there by Steve, you know, where are you tomorrow? And it almost seemed like he didn't know. Qualifying set by your two fastest times. Fastest time goes to race 1, second fastest time to race 2. It's in Hong Kong really just concentrating on his race pace. Not that much new really changed between qualifying and the race. Unofficial results then, with Dylan Pereira, Hugo Ellis and Dylan Yip taking the win, second and third in the red number board class. That's the pro class. Bajin Long finished in 8th position, but is demoted to second after a start infringement. So Li Xuanyu takes the pro am category in effectively he'll be promoted to 8th place. Mongkong Sathyanthirakorn will take the second, will take the AM category he's still in 10th position. Li Chao staying in 3rd for Team Better Life now that I see those numbers there. Henry Kwong in 2nd place in the AM category, ahead of Su Jufeng in 3rd. Jackie Wu in 16th position ahead of Adrian De Silva and Christian Chia in the Masters class. I'll do a bit of arithmetic and we'll have some point standings for you tomorrow before the race. Big problems for Hubo for 610 Racing, and even bigger problems for Yan Shuang and Phantom Global Racing. The number 27 car damaged in an opening lap incident, and the Phantom Global team will be working very, very hard indeed. Hupo not even completing the first lap. No one had anything for Dylan Pereira, with a stunning and, well, I think you've got to say it, fairly significant 5.7 second win, with Hugo Ellis in second. Dylan Yip started on the front row, finishes in third. Hugo Ellis with the best of the starts after the leading pair went wide. What can Dylan Pereira do tomorrow from pole position? Started on the inside. Well, Babendum looking good for over 100 years old, already getting ready for the formalities on the podium. And Sammy will be doing the bits and pieces there. Let's hear from her now. Getting the podium parties sorted out and bringing the drivers in as well. You know what drivers are like. Take your eyes off them for a second, they'll wander away, start talking about racing with somebody. Just waiting for Sammy to start the formalities. Bender enjoying himself, as always. The Ayala champagne is ready, the Bendham is ready, the trophies are ready. Let's go to Sammy and start the formalities.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podium presentation for round 3 of Porsche Carrera Cup Asia 2025 in Mobility Resort Motegi, Japan. Now, let's invite the winners of round 3 of Porsche Carrera Cup Asia 2025 in Motegi for the overall class. Let's welcome, on the 3rd place, driver number 6, Dylan Yip from Phantom Global Racing. And on 2nd place, we have driver number 38, Hugo Ellis from Sign Motors Racing. And the winner for the overall class, driver number 5, Dylan Pereira from Team Shanghai Yongda BWT. And of course, the dealer trophy winner goes to Team Shanghai Yongda BWT. And now I would like to invite Ms. Boyachi, the Senior Manager of One Make Series of Porsche Motorsports Asia Pacific Limited, to now present the winner trophy, the check, and then the dealer trophy. And now I would like to invite Mr. Alex Imperator, the manager of Porsche Carrera Cup Asia, to now present the 2nd place trophy and the check. And next on, I would like to invite Ms. Kate Zhang, the operation manager for Michelin Motorsports Asia Pacific, to present the 3rd place trophy and then the check. Can we invite everybody to stand closer together and let's take a photo together, everyone. All right, so let's just look in the center with all the cameras in the middle. Let's take a good photo. Okay, raise your trophies up high. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Congratulations to all of our winners. Before before you pop the champagne, wait a minute. We need to keep the check first because we're gonna keep that for the entire season. So let us keep the checks for you, and then you can celebrate in no time. So, Team Yongda Shanghai BWT, are you sure you're gonna stay there? You're gonna be showered by champagne.
Sammy being very, very sensible with some instructions for the BWT Team Shanghai Yonda representative, and getting them out of the way before the champagne started. $5,800 being spread across the top three there for the overall. Dylan Pereira getting his championship back on track with a good haul of points there. Fastest lap as well. Dylan Yip will take the pole position points for this first of two races at Mobility Resort Motegi. We've reset the Ayala champagne and wait for our second podium celebrations. Hey, Sammy.
For the Pro M class, on the third place we have driver number 9, Lee Chow from Team Mental Life. Second place goes to driver number 7, Bao Jinlong from BWT Mental Global Racing. And of course, the winner goes to driver number 321, Li Xuanyu from Z-Speed Motorsport. And now let's once again invite Ms. Boya Chi to please come up on stage to present the winner trophy for the Pro M class. And next on, I would like to invite Mr. Alex Imperator to once again come up on stage to present the second place trophy. And next up, I would like to invite Ms. Kate Zhang to present the third place trophy. And now let's get everybody to stand closer together. I know Jinlong can't wait to open the champagne, but let's take the group photo first. Let's take a group photo together. Woo! All right, so the award presenters are standing so far away. It's just a group photo, don't worry. Okay, let's get ready for the photo. Big smiles, thumbs up, everyone. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations again to all of our winners. Thank you to all of our award presenters. It's time for champagne.
Bao Jinlong demoted from the top step of the podium there, and that was right at the start of the race, lined up in the wrong spot. It effectively becomes a false start because he started in the wrong place, and that was the 10-second penalty. Li Chao just in third position, but it was rather closer than probably Bao Jinlong would have liked. Could have dropped 2 places there. He caught up with Amir Harris Jeffrey on the last lap, and I think that cost him a wee bit of lap time. Pro-Am comes up next, and that was a 7-second victory for Mungkong Sathin Thirakul. So let's get back to Sammy as we've reset the podium.
Congratulations to driver number 610, Xu Zefeng from 610 Racing. Second place, congratulations to driver number 91, Henry Kwong from Triple Ace Racing. And of course, winner goes to driver number 76, Mungkong Sathin Thirakul from EBM Racing. I would like to once again invite Ms. Boya Chi to come up on stage to present the winner trophy for our M class. And next, I would like to invite Mr. Alexander Imperator to present the second place trophy. And lastly, to invite Ms. Kate Zhang to present the third place trophy.
Let's all take a group photo together. So everybody, let's stand up on the podium. Big smiles, ready? 1, 2, 3. Congratulations once again. Thank you to all of our presenters. It is time for our M-Class winners to celebrate.
Hong Kong Imperator beginning to build a bit of a lead in the AM Championship, and this is looking ominous for his competitors. Henry Kwong getting up into second for Triple Ace Racing. Eric Kwong, last year's champion, Bergvert Motorsport, finishing down in 4th position, not being the opening to the season that our multiple champion would have liked. And finally, last but by no means least, our Masters category.
We have driver number 88, Christian Chia from Open Road Racing. Second place, congratulations to driver number 61, Adrian De Silva from EBM Racing. And the champion goes to driver number 69, Jackie Wu from Porsche on Retail 69 team. I would like to once again invite Ms. Boyachi to come up on stage to now present the winner trophy. And next, I would like to invite Mr. Alex Imperator to present the second place trophy. And last but not least, to invite Ms. Kay Zhang to present the third place trophy. Now let's invite our award presenters to join our winners of the masterclass to take a group photo together. All right, ladies and gentlemen, big smiles, thumbs up, ready? 1, 2, 3. Congratulations again to our winners for the masterclass, and it is time for us to celebrate.
So for the final time, our presentation party exits quickly as our Masters podium celebrate their achievements in the first of 2 races this weekend for Porsche Carrera Cup Asia 2025 here at Mobility Resort Motegi. Jackie Wu with the sweet taste of success on the top step of the podium for the Masters category. And that is just about it for today. We'll do it all again tomorrow morning. Make sure you join us then. I'm John Hindhaugh for the whole team. Thank you for joining us for round 1 of 2. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.